Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is the CZ600 Trail. I've been looking forward to this more than any of the others because much as the others have been great and I've done full reviews on them, this one just looks to be a total different item. Now, I haven't shot it at all yet. I literally unboxed it this afternoon. I've put a scope on it, I've bore sighted it. There's 5 rounds there in the magazine. It's a top loading mag, so you can click them in through the top easy peasy. So let's see how it goes. I'm just going to take a few shots with it, see what it's like. I put a Freya and Devic mod on the front. This is an Element Optics Titan 3 to 18 by 50 scope. So here we go. Well, it works. Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. Unboxing today. I know what this one is. It's a CZ600 Trail in 223. I shot these when I was invited to the Czech Republic in October last year for the initial go with them, and I've got to dissect this box open now because I wanted to do this on camera just so that you could, experience some of my spontaneity and what I generally think about things. And although I have shot it before, I want you to go to my first impressions a year later, because I haven't had hands on one for a year and I know that this might be quite noisy, but let's see if we can get it out. That's actually a little bit easier than, well, I say that. Let's see if we can get it out without destroying all the packaging, which might be easier said than done because there's not really a lot to... There we go, got hold of it. You would not believe how much time I spend wrapping and unwrapping boxes. Let's just have it go this way. So, here we are. CZ, for those who know. Ooh, lovely. Let's just make sure we edit out that bit, because that's got my name and address on it. Just pop that out the way. So we get a CZ, for those who know, sticker, and then we get the gun, which is sort of slightly unusually packed actually. It's under a film sheet there. What else is there in here? There's a big sticker there, and there's also a CZ instruction manual. Perhaps I'll look at those in a little while. Now, I'm going to pop that back in, and I'm just going to neatly slice along there. In this small packet here we have quite probably a bolt. We've got a bolt, which is that one, and that looks like probably a decocking tool and a Torx key. We'll look at those in a while. Take that out of there, pop that on the other bench, and that is it. So the critical thing about this rifle is it's very different from the rest of the CZ600 range. You'll notice it's very small, very compact. That's a 16-inch barrel, and it's a 223 ram. This one's only available in 223 ram or 7.62 short, which is 7.62 39. It's a fast 1 in 7 twist. It actually says on the barrel there. And starting from the front, this is a semi-weight barrel. It looks about 18-19 millimeters diameter. So that's got a 15 by 1 thread on it for a moderator or brake. But I know the thing you're all interested in is, tell us about the stock. Well, essentially, if I remember correctly, you press a button there on the top and the stock extends like that, and vice versa. You can pop it back in, and there are incremental stages for different length of pull. Now, one thing that's been commented on some of the pictures people have seen on this is the cheek rest. Now, the cheek rest is kind of back here because when you look at it, that actually has to slide over the edge of the action. So were you to have a cheek rest where you need it to be, it would normally be here where the action is before it slid back. Now, I'll be honest, I suspect some people are going to improvise or modify these to put something nearer here, because essentially when you're on the rifle you're actually there, and to be honest, that is, depending on the exact position, it is on my cheek there, which I don't actually see a problem with. Now, I've got some projects in mind for this gun. I'm going to prove it as usual with normal daylight scope, shoot some groups on paper, different ammo types. It will, with a 1-in-7 twist, it'll pretty much do anything I've got up to 77 grains. Although my 77 stuff isn't factory, but I've got some 68 factory, some 60, some 72 factory I think I've got. But I've got loads of 55, 53 and 50 grain sporting ammo. So this one's a 223. This uses the same bolt system as all the rest of the 600s, but with this being the smallest 223 action, it's a 3 rather than a 6 lug bolt, and being a 3 lug bolt, you get the same 60-degree lift, it just doesn't have double the rows of lugs. There's no real strength issue in that, it's just a whole size and packaging thing. The bolt heads are removable if I remember correctly, but you do have to decock the firing pin to do so. Shall I brave it and do that on camera? I should theoretically be able to do this by now. Firing pin comes out like that, the bolt head comes off like that. So I have theoretically got enough experience to have done this a few times, and that then goes in there, turns to there. Oh, and I've done it first time on camera live. Excellent. So we shall see what it's like when it goes back in the gun. So sliding that in there, just reminding myself the bolt release on this is on the side there. Bear in mind I deal with different guns every day. So closing that down, this one, I think this has a different trigger. So it's actually got a 2-stage trigger. Yes, it has, it's a 2-stage trigger. So you can probably see that on the ceiling camera. First stage is there. That still breaks super crisp. It's a very slim trigger blade actually, very lightweight. But it also has the adjuster here, so you can adjust the trigger pull weight on it. Now let's just open that back up, have a look at the rest of the gear. So on the side here we've got the mag release, and that looks like it's also, you can use that from the other side as well. This is it an accurate mag, this one, or P-mag, sorry, it's P-mag, twin stack 223, that'll hold 10 rounds in there, and those will just clip straight in from the top. So pop that in there, close the bolt, off you go. Now, unlike the Alpha or the Ergo or the Range or the Lux, I've managed to remember all the other 4 in the range, this one has actually got a side safety catch here, which clips one position to the other. And this would all appear to be polymer construction, including a nicely knurled grip there, which is actually rather nice. Let me just try and think this through now. The Alpha, Ergo, Lux and Range all have the safety catch which goes through from the top, and then you press it back up from the bottom, whereas here that location is used by the extension bolts or not on the back there. Now these are metal bars here, we've got a really nice grippy rubber recoil pad on there. That's going to lock in the shoulder well, and there's some Picatinny on the front of that, as well as a QR sling stud location point there. That probably looks like the grip will perhaps release off the bottom, and you can maybe use that for storage. I'll have to look at that in more detail for the full review. So 3-lug bolt, got an extended bolt handle here, it's very grippy, and of course you get short lift, short stroke. It's totally set up and designed for 223 or 762 short. The fore end slim, you've got Picatinny rail continuously along the top, so that will make it very easy to fit pretty much any scope you want, or night vision, or thermal. But of course, with all this M-LOK, I was thinking to myself, we've got the Magpul logo there, with all this M-LOK, I'm thinking to myself, not only can I put any accessories on the side I want to, but specifically for foxing use, it popped into my head last night, I am going to be able to, obviously I can also mount my illuminator under the barrel. So I'll have perfect balance, I'll have a bipod if I need it, and I can have my illuminator here, so I won't get any reflection back off moderators or anything like that for night vision. So we shall see how I get on with this. Is there anything left for me to mention here? You can see the rather nice CZ600 made in Czech Republic logo there. The overall action does appear to be a slightly different shape, but I don't have... Funnily enough, this was dropped off this morning by Parcel Force, and the Alpha in 223 was literally, I've basically swapped boxes. That's gone back with Parcel Force to Sportsman Gun Centre, who supply me these rifles to review. So it would have been really fun to test them together, because of course the Alpha, which you may have seen the review of on my channel, has got the slightly longer 223 barrel, same 1-in-7 twist rate on it, and it would have been interesting to compare them a little bit side by side, because that action does seem slightly different. And of course you've got the integral Picatinny rail on it as well, so the fundamentals are the same, but the visuals are very different, and it's deep on the side. Now you can see some traces of red thread lock on here, which are the pinch bolts for the barrel system, and also for the M-LOK, sorry, for the fore-end handguard here. Now CZ don't really want us to swap barrels on these anymore. They decided against it. Nothing because there's actually a problem with the guns, just the fact that some people can't read instructions, but let's not talk about them because they spoil it for the rest of us. But this, I've been thinking about it for a year. I'm thinking, will it really appeal to sort of tactical shooters, short range shooters? It's definitely very dynamic, but as actually a pest control foxing tool, something like that, there's a huge amount to be said for the fact it's so compact. And if you're driving around the farm in a tractor or in a truck or something like that, and you see foxes, I can't really take my eyes off it, to be honest. Sorry, I'm not looking at all you. I'm just drowning in all the things I'm seeing on this gun. You know, if you're driving around the vehicle, it's so compact to just keep in the vehicle with you, obviously with respect to the law, but certainly around the farm and places like that. How handy is that? And of course, especially in a cab manoeuvring around, if you need to take a shot left-handed out of the driver's window, the gun is there. You know, if you're going to pop it down in the footwell next to you for the passenger to shoot, or the left-hand window, again, it's just got that much versatility to it. And unlike an AR-15, you haven't got the rattle of the stock and the rattle of the bolt, because obviously, yes, we're not shooting semi-automatic ones or fully automatic ones, but even then, when you chamber an AR-15, it's best just to, you know, pull the handle back, let it go under its own spring tension, because the mechanism needs that momentum to make sure it chambers the round correctly. Whereas with a bolt action rifle like this, you're in full control. Couple of little points I didn't mention, which I probably ought to cover, in the fact that because you got that little spring on there, which is the ejector pin, extractor claws on the side of the bolt, and the bolt is semi-controlled feed, so the rounds do pop up nicely and slide into the chamber. But because you've got that sprung pin there, which is actually the ejector, when you cycle the bolt, you can actually feel the whole mechanism. It's sort of just slightly dampened against it. So if I open the bolt to there, that's basically where the ejector pin is, and here I can just feel a little bit of spring, which is that pin there, springing backwards and forwards, so it sort of softens the gun slightly. Now this is brand new, it's out the box, you've just seen it out the box. How slick is that bolt already? I'm actually a lot more excited about this than I thought I would be, because I've been doing a lot with the Alpha, a lot with the Ergo, and I thought the Ergo would be my favourite of them all, but I can't deny this has got a certain charm to it. So I'm going to get out this weekend, get some target shot with it, prove it with the rimfire, so prove it with the day scope, and then we will swap to night vision and do more with this, because I'm just picturing a, you know, PAR 008, might use the S, might use the SLRF. I'm not one for using LRF so much on foxing, because I prefer to shoot known territory, and I kind of know my distances. I use point blank and zero and things like that. I'll be interested to chronograph this short barrel. I've got sound moderators. I might have a Freyer and Devic one actually for a titanium one, we shall see, which will also complement this super short, super lightweight rifle. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my channel. Please like, please subscribe. Subscribing is the most important thing, because that is the number I can tell to people and say, this is how many people subscribe to my channel. Come and look at my channel. Because things like the British Shooting Show, they see my channel. That's why they're advertising on it, because they want you to click on the link at the end of my video and buy tickets to this next year's show. And the tickets to next year's show also have car parking included for 2023. So yes, like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget, click that notification bell, because it will tell you every time I've got a new video come up. And I actually looked, I think in the last 28 days I put over 20 videos on my channel, because sometimes they build up, sometimes they stretch out a bit and they're not quite as regular between them, but there's always one thing at least every week. So thank you for watching. Bye for now. Apologies for the wind noise, but you know, that's what impromptu filming does. You don't have time to set everything up, and I'm chasing daylight at the moment. Well, isn't that good fun?